I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.
I'm back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did the for my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get on my God, on my totem is nothing. In the discussion, for them feelings I throw on my pain on percussion. It's disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you all my spot at the feast. I've been on go mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talk about old. I'm on they now, can't get a pass now. I'm a cash cow, keeping it brash now. It's trash now, I'ma spaz out. I've been killing my lows and living on highs. You see in the skies the proof. You could just see in my eyes that there is no lies. I cannot disguise the truth. I've been duck dog, getting in my new merch, colored duck sauce on the new couch with my Chucks on. Get the on with that hate. I'm big cool on the small chat, cause I know now that I'm all that. Got a Hawkeye on the ball cat, get the out of my face.
Talking to my mirror like I love you so much.
All right, good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome back. Nathan Ivey with you as always. It is my pleasure. Now, coming up in about a little less than 20 minutes, we're scheduled to speak with a brother named OJ Welborn. And, he was a sponsor for the show for some time. He is a realtor, among other things, an entrepreneur. He's written a new book titled How to Make Six Figures in Real Estate as a Realtor. And he's scheduled to be my guest coming up at 8:30 a.m. this morning. And I'm looking forward to it. Should be very interesting. Like I said, I mean, the new American, the new dream job is working for yourself. The new dream job is working for yourself. So perhaps he might share some tips with us this morning. And who knows, he might give somebody out there some great ideas. I don't know. Maybe. I hope so. Good morning to you. So we got the show started a little bit later for numerous reasons. Look, we got brother OJ right there coming up. That's OJ Welborn right there, and then that's the image of his brand new book, How to Make Six Figures Selling Real Estate as a Realtor. I like the artwork. I think is pretty dope. Stands out to you. Yellow and black are two colors. That's a color combination that really sticks with the human brain. And I wish the brother nothing but success. But he's scheduled to give us a Zoom call coming up in just a couple of minutes. On today's show, I got 3 totally irreverent observations about the world that we live in that I want to share with you. This is stuff that's based on observations from over the weekend, but just things in general that I want to share with you. Now, interspersed between those flows and also my interview with OJ Welborn coming up at 8:30 a.m., I'll be taking your phone calls at 513-873-7134. I say it that way because I want you to remember it. Matter of fact, we'll throw that number up on the screen right there. Hope you had an excellent weekend. I'll catch you up just a little bit, and then we'll get started with our conversation with Brother Welborn, and we'll chop it up this morning, okay? Appreciate you in advance. Hope you had a great weekend. My weekend was Gucci, as always. I tend to have great weekends no matter what, though, because I'm just going to make it that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to leave it for chance. Damn it, I'm going to have a great weekend. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to have a great weekend, no matter what. I don't give a damn what's going on. My weekends is Gucci. What did I do? Got it in. In terms of getting that workout in, I had to do that. You already know we start with that. Got it in. It's gotten to the point now where if I don't get it in, I don't even feel right. All right, just send brother OJ Welborn the link. So he'll be joining us shortly. It's not the first time. He joined us before when he was just talking about his real estate business. Okay, he's confirmed it. So got it in over the weekend. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, a little something different. It's the same room. It's just the other side of it. So typically I'm facing that way, right? That is just a monitor there. Typically I'm facing that way. I might move that monitor actually so you can see more of the the lights there. But this is what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is my motivation. You know, you see some plants, that's of the earth. And then one of my favorite posters and images of the king of pugilism, Muhammad Ali, the greatest. Muhammad Ali was the greatest not because of anything he did inside the ring. He was the greatest because he was willing to sacrifice it all for his conscience. That's what made him the greatest. In my opinion, you might feel differently. So just to give you a different perspective. And again, if anybody's out there thinking like, well, damn, Nate, how do you do this? How do you do that? Hit me up in the DMs. I'm an open book for now. For now, I'm an open book. I'll share with you whatever it is that you're trying to do and try to help elevate your live streams and your podcast as well. All right. Remember, the future belongs to those who are willing to go out there and grab it. You willing to go out there and snatch it. Because that's what you're going to have to do, homie. You're going to have to snatch. Let me see if I can do something here. Okay, I think I like it better like that. But good morning to you. How we looking? How we sounding? Are we looking good? Are we sounding that? Okay, Janika says she loves the background change. I thought so. I get bored with things pretty easily, like most people do. So I just want to switch it up, give you something different visually to look at, and just to show you just how easy it is. I mean, man, it is so easy these days to put together a decent or even a really cool background. And again, if you're looking for some help with your live stream, your podcast, I'm offering my assistance to you. For now, it is for free, all to the choppers. It is absolutely free for my chopper family because y'all support me, I'll support you. All right, let me go back and say good morning to Brenda. Good morning to you, Brenda.
Get to the chopper!
Ray Rice, good risings all. She switched it up on me, but you could tell my brain just won't accept it. For years and years, it was grand risings all, Ray. And to Renee as well, good morning to both of you and appreciate your patronage. But now she's saying good risings, but my brain still reads grand risings, but it's neither here nor there. Ashley writes, good morning, Nathan and Choppers. Happy Monday. Baby Chopper starts her second year of preschool tomorrow. What? I love that. I'm so happy she is healthy and with us. That is so beautiful. So beautiful. Sharp writes, good morning, Nathan and Choppers. New school year starting. Watch out for the kids and yellow buses. Yeah, yep. And you know, parents are going to have to make it do. You know what my motto is as a parent. My motto is make it happen, Captain. That's the motto. You know what I'm saying? Nobody tell you to have them kids. Me and my wife have 2 children. Nobody in this audience is responsible for our children. We are. So whatever the problems is, whatever the issues is, we're going to have to make it happen, Captain. And, you know, it's going to be, it is a concern to us. Don't put that lightly. That is a concern. You know, medium Buddha on the bus was a concern no matter what. But when we knew she was on the bus with other students primarily, we felt differently. We like, well, this is just a glorified yellow bus. It just happens to be a Metro bus. It's totally different now that Metro is changing things up because they said they have a bus shortage. And it's like, I don't know, it's just something about that still don't make a lot of sense to me. And like I said, CPS parents are one of the most disrespected demographics and remain one of the most disrespected demographics in all of Cincinnati. You know, few people get shit on in Cincinnati the way CPS parents do by CPS staff. That's just crazy. In the larger community, it's the wildest shit ever. But nobody out there can argue with me, and I'd love for you to try and tell me that that's not true. I would love for you to give that a try this morning. There's a number. That's the try number right there. If you want to try me this number, 5 this morning, use that number, 513-873-7134. But again, I want to get ready for my guest. Brother OJ Welborn has a new book titled How to Make 6 Figures Selling Real Estate as a Realtor. And I've never thought about being a realtor. I never even thought about it. But I thought about how to make money from owning property. So is that a realtor? I mean, I don't know. You know, who don't want that? Hold on a second. It's a little slightly different, huh, son? Oh, look at you matching up. Okay. Look at you. I know. I love you too.
No, it's just today we could do something fun together.
Yeah, we got plans today, right? Okay.
Football, soccer.
No. We can play soccer. I don't mind.
What?
Well, we've already talked about it.
We need a soccer ball.
We need a soccer ball, yeah. We can go up to the field.
Yeah. And Yeah, we can go up to the
Say good morning.
the Fairview Field.
Say
Good morning.
Okay.
We can go up to the Fairview Field because it's not their field.
Oh, okay. Okay. You mind if I get back to what I was doing? Okay, thank you. You gonna stay with me. You can't stay with me. Daddy has to work. I love you too, man. I know we didn't get to spend a whole lot of time yesterday at all, did we? Okay, we'll make it up today. Okay, thank you. I love you. Take him. Who's that? Donatello? Or who's that? Is that one? Oh, okay. I don't know which one it is. We'll just say Donatello. Oh, okay. Raphael then? That's Raphael. Okay. You got to know these kind of things when you have children. If you don't, that's on you. Shame on you. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Hey, thank you so much, Anthony. Anthony is prolific inside the Friends page, and Crystal and all the folks that's post there, Danita, Jesse. I mean, all the folks that keep that page going and informed. I really appreciate it. Oh, we're back. Okay. Why are you showing us that?
It's FTTV.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I collected this one.
Why are you talking like that? We ain't doing the baby voice thing.
This one.
Can we talk about this later? You mind? I'm kind of slightly busy.
No. You stay together.
I don't want to have to call your mama.
Get it. There you go.
Okay. See all I got to do?
You can rip their hands off.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. All right, 513-873. Hey, we got brother OJ Welborn. He's backstage. Yeah, can you hear me, brother OJ? You give me thumbs up. Okay, so we got OJ coming up in about 8 minutes. Just let me set the table a little bit more for the show, and we'll go straight. That's Raphael. Thank you. Somebody's got kids out there, right? Oh man, yeah, we didn't have a lot of time yesterday. I try to plug in with them every single day, man, because you never know. You never know. But I got three totally irreverent, not irrelevant, but irreverent observations about the world that we live in. I want to share with you this morning. But again, coming up at 8:30, we got a guest schedule. He's already backstage, and we'll talk about his new book and pick his brain. I mean, again, you might hear something this morning. You're like, new revenue streams. Doesn't that just sound great coming off the tongue of adults? New revenue streams. I like those three words. Mm-mm-mm. Revenue stream. We can just revenue stream. I like those two words. So who knows? Who knows? You might hear something this morning. You might spark something. Who knows? You have no idea. But again, do me and the world a favor and go ahead and share today's show so as many people as possible can hear this show. Again, I like to say that at least the world to know there's some people in Cincinnati. There's some people in Cincinnati that's got some damn sense. The world might look at us and think, man, they so backwards, but they just don't know. There's a small group of folks that got a whole lot of sense here. A whole lot of sense. Good morning to you. Again, 513-873-7134. If you want to share your thoughts this morning, I would love to hear them. I want to hear all about it. I want to hear all about it. That's right. Back to school, back to football, back to the normalcy of what that means. Are we moving in the wrong direction? I'll talk just a little bit about that this morning. Some really interesting shows over the weekend. Now, I don't know about you. I live in the Corryville area in Cincinnati, Clifton, Corryville area. And we had some internet issues like Friday, like Thursday night, Friday. And I use Spectrum, as a lot of people do. And when you go onto their online portal where you can pay your bill and do all the things, yeah, you ain't see this? The wifey's just seeing the switch for the first time. And no, I'm good. Matt, could you hand that for me? To me, please. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, so what was I saying? She got me all sidetracked and shit. Walk around the house like that. Where's my thoughts again? Where's my thoughts? I was making a point. Yeah, I was telling you about Spectrum. So if you go to their online portal where you can pay your bill and check other shit, they had messages over the weekend saying that because of whatever in Michigan and Ohio, people were having internet issues. So Donnie B's got a lot of shit going on right now. She got a lot of things going on. Keep her in your thoughts. And we decided to do the show on Friday. Damn, if you know it, we get to like 12:30, internet's out. Internet's out. I'm pissed. So she ended up going straight live, which is not the same, but still, you can still hear her and see her for the D Hive, for the fans of her show, and get a chance of see what's on her brain and what she's talking about on a weekly basis. Internet out. So I'm fearful because I'm like, damn, how long is it going to be down? This is what I use for the live stream for a lot of shows. Did Sunday morning straight talk. It was fluctuating back and forth. But I still thought it was a really strong show with Edna Howell on Sundays. If you missed it, she got a brother on who is becoming a regular voice. He's a doctor from Dayton. Dude is pretty tight. His mental is sharp, very sharp mental, sharp superlative flows about the issues that she was talking about. Worth your time to circle back around and check out that live stream from Sunday if you missed it, and then talk with the lovely ladies of Melanin Insight. The melanated voices of Black women. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but the voices of Black women, Melanin Insights. And they have some very interesting and provocative topics as well. So if you missed any of that over the weekend, check it out. You can find it on Facebook, on CDM's page. You can join everybody's got their own Facebook page. So you can join the Is It Just Me podcast group, Straight Talk Live with Edna Howe Facebook page, the Melanin Insights Facebook page, and connect directly with those hosts. All right. And then on Saturday, of course, we did a special show with Midday Juice with Ask Ashley. And I don't know if y'all saw it, man, but man, it was, it was so emotional. It was so emotional because Ashley talked with a sister who her video went viral. She posted a video. So check out, here's the story. The she's been married. I think she's been married like 8 years or something like that. But she's known the dude. They've been in a couple for 18 years. They met when they were 15. She's from Tennessee. I think she goes to Louisiana or Vegas. I can't remember. Either one of those for a business trip. She comes back home. Everything's gone. Everything is gone. Husband took everything and moved out the house. Didn't say nothing to her. She thought they were reconciling. Hold on, I got the cover art for you right here. Check this out. She thought they were reconciling. Did y'all see this show on Sunday? I mean, on Saturday at 2 p.m.? Man, fire. You missed it. You missed it. It was so emotional. It was more emotional than I thought it was going to be because you could see that raw emotion that like you'll check it. That love and relationship is nothing to play with, man. That is nothing to play with. That's a very strong emotions right there. Very strong. That's Melanin Insights. If you missed it yesterday, very strong emotions. And I thought that Ash she dealt with it brilliantly. I mean, she was born to do this. She is so good at that and at what she does. And she came on and talked about, what happened, the backstory. It got so ill and so emotional that her estranged husband was actually in the stream making comments as well. Now, I don't know if he's going to be willing to sit down with Ashley. I got to do my job. You know me, I'm going to make him tell you no type ninja. But, we'll find out. But what she had to say, the way Ashley handled it, it was just so real. Because not every marriage is going to end in death. Not every marriage is going to end like that. Some marriages end because they just reach their course. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was very, very real. So just to give you a heads up of what happened over the weekend. But with no further ado, I want to welcome in brother OJ Welborn. He's the author of a brand new book titled How to Make Six Figures Selling Real Estate. And we got him on the line with us right now. So again, go ahead and tap in, everybody, and tell people about this live stream and where we are. And again, brother OJ, welcome to the show.
Hey, man. Good morning. How you doing, Nate?
I'm doing great, man. Let me see if I can. There we go. I'm doing great, man. Good morning to you. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing great.
It's good to hear, man. Well, congrats on the publishing of the new book.
Hey, I appreciate that. it's been a blessing, and
Yeah.
hopefully it's a blessing to many other people.
Yeah. I saw you on the BNC, the Black News Channel, man. What was that experience like? I have
Man,
nothing but love and support for what they're doing.
you know what? That was a real dope experience. One, it was national TV, so I'm grateful for that. But at the same time, I got to do a news segment with a fellow, Cincinnati, and that was the anchor on the show. He's been working on, his name is Shannon Lanier. He went to Hughes High School. He and I graduated together, and pretty much, he and I, he saw my book and he was like, "Hey, man, I want to put you on TV." So he gave me the call, and 3 weeks later, here we were.
Okay, that's dope, man. I'm not hip to that brother, man. I'd love to get
Yeah,
connected with him. That sounds pretty dope.
yeah, absolutely. Very cool guy. Like I said, he's from Cincinnati. Down to earth person, and definitely a businessman for sure.
Okay, I love it, man. I love what they're doing. Anybody that's building narratives for us, I'm with it, 100%.
Absolutely.
Okay, somebody said they can hear music in the background either.
Yeah, I heard it too.
Did you? Okay. Yeah, I think I inadvertently was just
It's
pressing
all good.
buttons with my elbow. Pardon me on that. Hopefully it's taken care of now. Yeah, I think we Gucci. So tell us about the book, man. Tell us about, well, first off, let's tell us about you. So I always want to start right there because I know a lot of people know you in Cincinnati, but just give us the backstory, man. Are you from Cincinnati? What's your Cincinnati connection?
Yeah, so born and raised in Cincinnati. I'm a Hughes graduate. I started at Woodward first, Woodward High School. I was in the Camus program, which is the Cincinnati Academy of Math and Science. And then, at one point it transferred over to Hughes. So that's where I ended up graduating. I went to Cincinnati Christian University, which is now closed, but I got the, opportunity to go there before they closed. I got my bachelor's in business management, and almost finished with my master's. I need to go back. Other than that, man, I just born and raised here in Cincinnati. I used to be a Cincinnati police officer. I was in law enforcement for about 11 years. I started with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office first. Left there, went to Cincinnati PD for about 9 years. And then, believe it or not, I actually, made history. I became the first Black officer to ever work in Monroe PD. So that was kind of, pretty cool. After that, you know what? I just decided I'm going to do something different. So I got into real estate, and I've been doing this 5 years strong now. It'll be 5 years in September. And it's just been a journey, man, from, I can remember when I was a new agent, I sat down and, I had a manager in front of me and he asked me what I wanted to do. And I was like, I'm going to sell 50 houses my first year. And I just remember him looking at me like, yeah, right. But, God gave me the sign. I never looked back, and I just crushed it, man. I sold 38 houses my first year. I think the national average is like 5 to 7 houses. And I just crushed it. I just got my mind right. I just decided, I wasn't going to let anybody, sell me any doubt. And here I am today. I've, been all over the internet, TV, radio, a lot of opportunities. I was featured on a nationally televised real estate show called The American Dream. I was featured in the Cincinnati Real Producers book, which is a magazine here in Cincinnati. It's a national magazine also, but it highlights the top 500 agents in the area. And I was named the Agent on the Rise back in 2019 in February. So I had a lot of opportunities, man, been able to go on the road and speak at real estate conventions, etc. So it's been a journey, and I'm blessed. God's been great.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. So the book, man, I mean, well, first off, was real estate something that you always had in mind? Why'd you choose real estate? Was it just a
No.
money move, or was it a passion move, or both?
So so I was in college, and my thought process, I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to go into corporate America, and I was married at the time, and my ex-wife was like, you know what, I think you should do real estate. And I was like, you know what, that sounds pretty cool. I think you're right. So I tried it. I prayed about it. I went to God with it. And when I tell you, and I don't want to give too many gems away because I'm gonna put it in the book on how I got the sign, man. But I asked God for a sign. God gave me the sign, man. And I was like, all right, cool. So I, took the test. I passed. I gave the police department my 2 weeks notice, and everybody thought I was crazy. You're gonna leave a full-time, paid pension job to go into real estate? And I'm like, yeah. So it was, me and God prevails every time, man. So
Now had you built a nest egg or an investment egg as a member of law enforcement, and then you use that to go into real estate?
yes, so I had a little money saved, and then I had my retirement to fall back on, and of course, when you get that, you don't get it right away. So I knew that if a rainy day came upon me, I would have some monies to rely on, and that's one of the things that I talk about in my book is you have to write it down and make it plain. It's based on the biblical principle and scripture Habakkuk 2:2. And that's part about writing your plan is what are my finances going to be, what are my bills like, how do I prepare for that? And so I had wrote all that down. I was just like, okay, I'm going to make this this is my vision plan. I'm going to study it. I'm going to look at it every day. It's what I'm going to stay focused on, and that's what I did.
So I'm a big believer in a phrase that I've heard, and the phrase goes something like this: "Leap and the net will appear." Is that an accurate description of what you did when you made that decision?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I call it a faith walk. It was a faith walk for me, and it's one of those things where you're like, God's like, test me, try me, trust me, and that's what I did. Even all the way down to my branding, man. Everyone knows the Welborn experience, right? I got that from God. I prayed about it. I was like, God, what should I call myself? I heard that clear as day, the Welborn experience.
Huh.
And it's been the most catchy, phrase that's been, it's done wonders for me. Even the jingle, you like the jingle, right?
Oh, you already know.
Brother Donnie Harper, he's from Cincinnati. He's the guy who owns Good Apparel. He did my jingle, and that was amazing. So everyone loves that too.
Huh. Well, I want to circle back around about a good phrase or a good jingle in terms of being a realtor in business and how that serves you. So that's real interesting. So a lot of people get paralyzed by fear. I think, OJ, like they feel like I don't have everything figured out. So did you have everything figured out? Did you have it planned out? I mean, were there some unknowns in your journey before you started it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with faith, man, it's all about confidence and trusting and believing, in yourself and in God, most importantly. But it was a lot of unknowns. But once, I had asked for a sign and I got that sign, and it was very blatant. I knew. I was like, yeah, this is it. So that's all I had was, me and my faith. I had family members that looked at me like I was crazy. I had some friends that called me and was like, dude, you crazy. Police officers was like, well, best of luck to you, or some guys now they say, man, I wish I had the confidence that you had to walk away from this department. I feel like I'm stuck. I can't tell you, I can't express how much freedom I felt by leaving working that 9 to 5 and working for myself.
Right. Well, you probably working 80 hours a week for yourself, right?
Yeah. Going to court and long hours and, and then trying to be a dad. I got 2 beautiful children, and it's a tough job, man. It's a tough job, but working for yourself can be tough too. You got to have discipline, but I'm just grateful.
Realtors, and this is just my personal observation, realtors are like photographers to me. Like everybody, it's like a whole bunch of them. It's like it's a whole bunch of realtors. There's a whole bunch of photographers out there. But is there still room in the real estate game, you think, for somebody who is maybe working in one industry and they're looking to do something different? Is there still room out there?
Yes. To my knowledge, there's about 7,000 realtors in the greater, Cincinnati area. But it's enough real estate for everybody to eat. I always tell people it's 2 sides to every deal. So there's the buyer's agent and there's the listing agent. So it's enough, to make it more plain. I went to, so I've been a award winner of what they have, what they call the what do they call it? The Circle of Excellence Award, right? So it's basically like the top 10% here. So I've been in a room where there is 600 to 700 people. They're all getting an award, and to qualify for that award, you got to at least make 6 figures. So if we got 600 people in one room that's made 6 figures to maybe 8 figures, more like 7, but figures selling real estate, then it's enough real estate for everybody. I think the biggest thing, the key point is, Nate, a lot of people, it depends on your time. A lot of people, there's part-timers. So like out of the 100% of realtors, I think 20% carries the load. The other 80% are like part-timers. They kind of pity pat with it, or, they have a 9-to-5 job where they're working somewhere else. But it's the 20% that is really carrying all the load.
And then is there like people who have like a particular niche, right? They might
Absolutely.
just do commercial, or they might do residential. Can you be successful as a realtor today if you just like drill down to one niche?
Absolutely. Yeah. You have some agents that are doing the REO niche, which is, dealing with the old houses that need to be, renovated and done over. Some people just like new construction. Some people just, take people to new construction, sites and, Fisher Homes or MI Homes or wherever, and, help people that way. Me, myself, I'm more of a hybrid kind of a person. I can help you with commercial. I can help you with residential. I can help you sell your house. I can help you buy a house. I can help you lease a house. Just, whatever you're looking for, I can do it. I felt like it was important that I kind of, have an egg in many baskets versus just having one. Because I wanted to be very versatile, and I felt like, Cincinnati is big, and everyone doesn't fit in that, one niche. So you got to be able to, tap into, what that is. And specifically, the niche of people that I went after initially when I started was, cops, firemen, and sheriffs.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So let's talk about how to make 6 figures. That's at least 100 grand a year as a realtor. And I know you don't want to put everything out there, but I'm hoping you can share maybe 1 or 2 nuggets with us, and then that can be some breadcrumbs and people to go back in and check out, your book itself. But how do you do it? What's the first step to make 6 figures as a realtor?
The first step is just simply write the number down that you want to make. And that's what I did in my first brokerage when I first started. The manager was like, "Hey, how much you want to make?" I was like, "I want to make $100,000. So you have to make it very simple. $100,000 might seem very overwhelming when you first start. But if you write it down and do it over a 12-month period, you're like, okay, that means I need to at least make $8,333.33 a month. How do I do that? If you sell a house that's about $280,000, that will give you about $8,400 in commissions. Usually when you sell a house, you make 3% off that house. So, $280,000 house would net you $8,400. Obviously you still got to pay taxes and things like that on it, but hypothetically, that's $8,400 that you made that month. So that's accomplishing 1 month. Now, if you don't sell a $280,000 house, maybe break it down into 2. So maybe you're selling 2 houses that are $140,000. But once you can make it very simple on paper, I can even show you how you can break it down on paper. Some people are like, hey, I can make this many calls per day, this and that. I did it a different way. I want to put myself out there and get myself out there until enough people call me and I get enough referrals to where it just, comes naturally.
And is that how you make, so right now, not to get too deep in your pockets, but is that how you made the bulk of your money through referrals, or is it new business?
Well, my first year was all new business.
All new business, right?
Yeah. I mean, and to be quite honest, 90% of the deals that I did my first year were with people I did not know. And I didn't want to go and beat my friends over the head and be like, I was, act like I was a vacuum salesman. Like, hey, I sell vacuums now, right? You should buy a house from me, kind of thing. I just wanted to come out, present myself as a businessman, let everyone that I know what I do, but at the same time not badger them, because everyone knows like, Otis got his real estate license, so he's probably going to be calling this. Nope. Just want to make you aware of what I do. I'll put it out on social media, I put it on all the platforms, etc. And then from there, you just kind of put it out there. My first year, there's also things called lead services where you can buy, places like Zillow and stuff like that, where you can, purchase zip codes and get people to contact you via zip codes and stuff like that. But after my first year of success, every year beyond that was all referrals.
Okay. So you see, you said there's referral services like
Yeah,
Zillow.
lead
I didn't
service.
know they did that. I didn't know they did that. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So Zillow, who is like an industry killer, they're trying to eliminate, what real estate agents do. Um, but they're the ones that initially were, they would have these systems where, most people when they go looking for a house, they go click on Zillow to look at houses, right? And then there's a button that says I want to be contacted. So when you hit that button, I could per se pay, I don't know, a couple $100 a month that says everyone that hits this button in the zip code, I want their information to come to me. So you hit that button, I call you. Hey, Mr. Ivy, how you doing? This is Otis Welborn with Real Brokerage. I see you looking at the house at 123 Sesame Street over in Westchester. How can I help you today? And you're like, oh, okay, cool. So in real time, you're like, okay, that was a hell of a service. Somebody hit the button. I hit the button. Somebody called me, and now I'm on the phone with them. So, so you can have like 5 or 6 agents per zip code that does that. I don't recommend it because I just feel like they're trying to saturate our industry and do things that kind of harmful to agents. So I don't use Zillow.
We're speaking with OJ Welborn. He's the author of a new book titled "How to Make Six Figures Selling Real Estate as a Realtor." As I look at the book, you break it down into 8 steps.
Yes.
First step is figure out and know your why.
Yes.
Second step is write it down, make it plain, create a plan. Third step is believe in yourself, get rid of doubt. The fourth step is identify your niche. The fifth step is brand yourself, which I want to talk more about. Step 6 is create a database, love on them. Step 7 is learn to network, build relationships. And step 8 is do the math. So, you can just get in where you fit in and start at the very beginning. So is this an ebook, or can people actually get a physical copy of it like in a
It
bookstore?
will be an ebook soon. Currently, right now, it's only paperback, and
Okay.
you can, the main site is bookbaby.com, but you can also go practically anywhere now. Amazon, if you just type in the title, it'll come up. It's out there. It's on every platform now, but it's only in a paperback form. It's an easy read. It's only 26 pages in the book total, so it's straight to the point, no fluff. Basic grassroots things that I've put in a book to help you be successful. And honestly, it's not even a book just for real estate, Nate. It's actually for any entrepreneur that's in like sales or anyone that's trying to, get off the ground as an entrepreneur. Those steps can help any entrepreneur.
How much money do you think that I would need to have as an investment nest egg to break into and start the real estate game? I'll use that word for lack of a
Okay,
better
good
term.
question. I think, in my opinion, I think it's important that you save at least 3 months of monthly expenses before you go and try to, go full time and do your thing with selling real estate. So, look at your expenses. If your expenses is $3,500 a month, then you need to have that times 3 at a minimum, in my opinion, to have that set aside. So this way, if it take you a couple months to get your business off the ground, you still got your, excuse me, your expenses paid.
And what's the process? Like, how's the money come in as a realtor? So I close on a home, right? How
Yeah.
long after closing on a home do I get a check?
Okay. So I'm glad you asked that for a couple reasons. Number one, everyone thinks that we just got some glorified open the door job and we get paid. It's not that simple, right? It's a lot of things that go behind the scenes, making sure the appraisal's good, the inspection's good, coordinating with all the people that's involved with the job, etc. Right? But then the key point I want to make is I don't get paid until we sell the house. So essentially, I'm working for free until I can get you to the closing table. Now, here at Real Brokerage, most of the traditional brokerages, they give you a check, it's written out to the brokerage. You take that check, you deposit it with your brokerage. They'll cut you off a percentage of it, for doing your job. But where I work at Real Brokerage, I take a picture of the check, I take a picture of the closing statement, I send it to the cloud, and I get paid within like a day.
Okay, straight to the bank account, huh? I like the way that sounds.
Yeah,
That sounds real good.
real time. And thus the name Real Brokerage. So
Right. Okay. Okay. I love it. I mean, I know you made some switching here. You know, you were working with another firm. Now you with Real Brokerage,
yep,
and I know we had talked about that. How's that working for you so far?
it's been amazing. I don't mind saying it. I used to work at Keller Williams. I used to run a Keller Williams office in Metro Detroit, Michigan, and it was a great experience. But after all, it just wasn't for me. But now I get to work as a single agent, but at the same time at Real Brokerage, I can run a virtual brokerage across the country. So currently, right now, I have about 30 agents across the country, that I collaborate and work with. From Cincinnati. So I got 14 or 15 agents, in excuse me, Denver, Colorado. I got agents in Tampa, Florida. I got an agent in another city in Florida. I got a big mega team in Dayton, Ohio. I have several individual agents here in Cincinnati. So, and we're expanding. I'm anticipating to have more agents across the country from every city
Right.
to join Real Brokers. And this is where real estate is going, Nathan. The traditional places, and I won't say their names, but it's kind of like Amazon. Okay, so if you want to go to Amazon right now, you can place your order. It'll be at your house in 2 days, right? This is the way the real estate industry is going. So now I work at a virtual, no brick and mortar type of brokerage where you can reach out to me or go online and contact me. I show you a house, we write a contract, I send it to the cloud. It's already pending, it's done. So now we don't have to worry about all the overhead going to the businesses. Thus the reason why more agents get paid more here at where I am, because of there's no brick and mortar, there's no overhead, there's no office manager, this and that. So it's a great thing.
That's interesting. Joy, she wants to know, or she asked a question: isn't the real estate license market saturated? We kind of hit that earlier, but
No.
again, I'll let you answer.
No, there's a lot of agents, but agents don't apply themselves. They, and I talk about this in my book. A lot of people will go get their real estate license, take the test, get their license, get some business cards, and they sit and they wait. They cross their arms and they wait, and their phone's not ringing. It takes time. You have to apply yourself. You have to brand yourself accordingly. You have to, it's a lot of things that you got to do and put yourself in position to actually start making deals. It's a hustle. It's not easy. Yeah, some people might say it's saturated. I would say no, it's not. Again, the top 20% carries the load. The other 80%, sells 1 or 2 houses a year. I sold 38 houses my first year. So 43 my second.
Wow. And let me my thoughts on that, Joy, is not just about real estate, but about anything. I think that it's like YouTube channels or photographers, I used that earlier, or real estate. And again, I'm not saying anything negative about anybody, but yeah, there might be oversaturation in mediocre, but there's always going to be a market for superlative. There's always going to be a market for people that stand out, and no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying?
People can make good money part-time.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
A general $100,000 house will net you $3,000. So if you sold one house a month and you made $3,000 extra a month on top of whatever you're doing in your 9 to 5, that's $36,000 extra by just selling one house a month.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
that's not bad at all. So, what are the expenses involved in being a realtor? Like, I know it takes time, but does it take money to sell a house? And if so, what are the expenses involved? Like, are you paying for photographers or videographers or people that stage, or what's that involved?
Okay. So if I was coming to your house, Nate, I would just simply tell you like, hey, well, right out the bat, when I first started in 2016, I went out and bought like a $2,000 camera. One, it was a business move, and two, was a write-off, right? But I equipped myself. I was saying earlier, I wanted to make sure that I was versatile. So a lot of real estate agents aren't comfortable with taking their own pictures. I am. I got the equipment to actually take my own pictures if I need to, but for time it can be timely sometimes, right? So, and time is money. So sometimes I would, if I came to your house, I would just say, hey, look, Nathan, I'm going to have, this company come here, take the pictures for you on my dime. I usually absorb that cost because I want you to feel 150% comfortable and confident throughout the process. So I do all that on my dime. if any extra things like staging and stuff like that, that's extra that would come out of your pocket. But as far as photography, either I would do it myself or I would hire someone else, outsource it and do it on my dime.
Mm-hmm. And is that the only expenses involved with it other than just the time?
For me, it is. As a person that's looking to sell your house, depending on what we work out to sell your house, the going rate is like 6%. So look at it as saying it's going to cost you 6% of the asking price to sell your house, and that 6% is broken down into 3% on the buyer side, 3% on the listing side. So each agent company would get 3% from that fee that we're charging you to sell your house. Other than that, that's it.
How has COVID impacted, your business? And I asked that in a couple ways. I asked it from we know right now that people are being evicted. There's a lot of conversation about the eviction moratorium. How is that impacting real estate? And then secondly, we know that a lot of people are not returning back to their jobs. They're looking to do their own thing. So are you seeing an influx of people who want to get into the real estate game and work with you?
Yes. COVID made things really interesting. Okay. So kind of piggyback on what I said earlier about traditional brokerages, they have these excuse me, a brick and mortar building, right? So with the brick and mortar building, then they're required to go in and out. And that's where a place like where I work we're untouched by that because it's all virtual. I can work from home. I can do a buyer's consult or a seller's consult via Zoom from my house. We can do virtual, home showings now. I could hire someone to go in and do the virtual photography, and then we can just put it online. We can do videos. We can do a lot of things. So in one sense, I felt like it helped the industry because it exposed us as an industry to say, what changes do we need to make as a company to still be equipped for something like COVID? Now, I felt like COVID hurt the industry or hurt people in general because, some people couldn't work. So now they're behind on their payments. I was told they extended the eviction process till October now. Places like Michigan, before I moved to Michigan to work up there, they were considered non-essential. So they couldn't work whatsoever. So if you were a full-time realtor, no matter if you was a top agent or the least successful agent, everybody was hurting because you couldn't sell a house. And they were shut down for 3 or 4 months in Michigan versus here in Ohio, we were considered essential, which means that we were able to work, but we were only non-essential for 2 weeks. So yeah, I mean, you can look at it a lot of different ways. I actually sold a lot of houses during COVID. I had about 9 houses pending during that time. And I was actually in Michigan selling houses virtually from here while I was up there. So I actually sold a lot of houses during COVID, but at the same time, it hurt the industry. It hurt a lot of people. It was just a lot going on.
So you say virtually. So basically I can go online, I can view it and sort of virtually go into all the different rooms. And then if I want to see it in person, do they have a lockbox situation where the key is there and I can go in and key myself in, walk through? Is that how it works?
Yes. Okay. So you call me today, you say, OJ, I want you to sell my house. Perfect. I can be in Vegas. Okay. I can call one of my teammates here in Cincinnati and say, hey, I need you to go and grab a sign for me, put it in the yard, put a lockbox on it, grab some shoe booties, and some gloves and put them at the front door, so that everyone can put these on and be safe when it comes to showings. I would send you all the contractual paperwork via email in real time. You can actually sign it. We use a system called Dot Loop, or sometimes we use, a system called SkySlope. Some people use DocuSign, but it's just an electronic system where I can send you a contract in real time. You would sign it electronically, it would come back to me in real time, right? So then, I can send a photography company out there. They take the pictures for me, put it on the internet. They can do a virtual, showing photography, put it on the internet, and it's all done. And I could still be in Vegas. I could still be in, Colorado, wherever, because as you follow me, I was traveling everywhere. So, but it's still a business. It's still, I'm still hands-on. I'm still calling and keeping in contact with the clients and making sure, they're talking to me FaceTime. And then when I come back in time, I've jumped back into the process, and I've just kind of taken over for the people that I've hired to help me do the process. But I mean, we can do any and everything as a normal, traditional place, but just it's all virtual, no brick and mortar, no nothing.
So talk about branding yourself. I mean, that might be something that people with no
Yes.
experience might have difficulty. What advice would you give for someone starting out in the real estate game in terms of branding yourself? Like, what does that mean exactly?
Okay. So I talk about this in my book. One of the things is, I don't care if you're in China or if you're across the country or you're here in Cincinnati. If even a child would know this, if a child is in the car and they drive by and they see the golden arches, they're like, Mama, Daddy, that's McDonald's, right? I feel like a real estate agent should be the same way. I don't care how saturated it is. Or as that person said earlier, they feel like the real estate market is saturated. I chose to brand myself in a way that I wanted to brand so much that you think about me subconsciously. Everyone's in a car and you're humming the song and you're like, I didn't even know I knew the words to that, right? That's where that jingle comes in. The jingle is talking about the services that I do. It tells you what city I work in. It tells you my brand. It's very catchy. It's got a nice little hook. It's got a nice little tempo. Those are the things that grabs people attention, right? And then it ends it with my phone number. So I can play it on the radio, podcast, wherever, and you would vibe out to it and be like, I love that. I'm going to call this person, right? But my point is, in my book, I talk about how you should brand yourself so much that either if someone saw your logo or your emblem, they would know who you are. Someone should know you by your logo, your brand, your name, what have you. If someone type in my name on Google, you're going to see that I was on TV, I was on radio, I was on this, I was on that. And I always associate, even my logo is my website. So I'm always branding myself in different ways, in unorthodox ways than your traditional realtor, to make myself stand out per se.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Sounds right. Somebody wants to know, Kathy wants to know, do you purchase investment properties to flip?
No.
Okay. So you don't
No,
get okay.
I don't know enough about flipping. I was just talking about this the other night. I don't know enough about flipping houses, myself personally, enough to want to do it.
Okay.
Now, I help a lot of investors that do that, but me personally, no, I don't purchase them.
Is that something you think you might get into in the future, or that's just not really your wheelhouse?
I think, okay, so in my book, I talk about preparing and writing it down, making it plain and getting a plan, right? I think in order for me to get into that, I would need to find me a reliable team of people that I know that can work with me to do the actual hands-on work for me. Make sure I got a electrician that I'm working with, making sure I have a landscaping company, someone that I can call my team for sure that works for me that would do that. Once I get all that in place, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. I'm not sure how you hip to this dude, man. There was a dude named Ryan Serhant out of New York.
Yes.
He used to be on a reality show,
Yeah.
which I just love that show. But he's doing some different shit. Like he started everything's in house now. You hip to him?
Yes, and that's what I mean. That is exactly what I mean. You got to have a team. Once you have a team, you're unstoppable.
Right.
I feel like what makes me unstoppable in this area or across the country is that my network is huge. So it doesn't, and then I'm not contained to a brick and mortar building. So I can provide services. I can help people relocate, whether they're coming into Ohio or going to a different state, what have you. I can help you sell a house across the country or maybe even out of the country.
Yeah. Pamela writes, so she wants to know, ask him to speak on tips for buying foreclosed homes.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. It's a big myth behind that. I can't tell you how many people that I talk to, to get pre-approved for a loan, and they say, well, let's look at foreclosed homes. Foreclosed homes aren't the easiest to buy. And actually, I think sometimes are the worst to buy because of the condition, right? And most of the time, you need to get familiar with the loan product that you're approved for. So if you got an FHA loan, that's a governmental loan, that loan specifically says the house has to be move-in ready, and no type of bad things going on with the house. And a lot of foreclosed homes have things going wrong with them, or, if a person know they're losing their house, sometimes I've seen really bad cases where they'll take the stove out and this and that, and they damage the house. They'll leave water running, just all kind of things, that makes it pretty bad in condition wise to even purchase it. And then too, the process takes a long time because the banks own it. And so we might write an offer on that house today. You may not get an answer for like maybe a month and a half. So it's a really long process. It's not very easy, and it's not as easy as everyone thinks. And it's not like you're just going to get a house dirt cheap because it's been foreclosed on.
I am posting a link right now to your book online, and people can check it out for themselves. Just posted it right there to the bookbaby.com store if you were interested in purchasing Brother Welborn's book, How to Make Six Figures in Real Estate as a Realtor. Well, OJ, I appreciate your time, man. I think it's fascinating, and I think you'll help a lot of people. And I think that the new dream job is working for yourself, and this could be an avenue for people. Just any last words you want to share with the folks out there?
Yeah, real quick. My number is 513-252-1055. If you're looking to buy or sell a home or get a commercial building, if you're looking to get into real estate and you're very serious about it, definitely contact me. I would love to have a consultation with you about that, give you some guidance. Purchase the book. It's out there. It's everywhere. Bookbaby.com, Amazon, everywhere. And it looks like I just saw a question. Someone said, does a realtor have to be licensed specifically in each individual state? No. You can be licensed in one state, but still be attached to a network to, make this transaction happen. You can still be a part of it. So no, you definitely have to be licensed in one state, but at the same time, at a place like where I work, we can do things across the border lines. So, and no, I'm not a broker. I saw that question too. No, I'm not a broker. I am actually an individual agent, but I can operate and grow a brokerage as if I was a broker without doing so. And I can explain that offline. So again, if you want to buy a book, it's only $12.95. It's an easy read. It's a very short read, straight to the point, no fluff. My website is thewellbornexperience.com. And I'm just, here to help. And then Nathan, I appreciate the opportunity today.
Oh, you already know, brother. Listen, thank you for your time, man. And we'll be talking real soon. We'll connect real soon.
All right. Thanks so much. Everyone have a great day.
Yeah, most definitely. That's Brother OJ Welborn, the Welborn Experience, how to make six figures in real estate as a realtor. I posted a link in the chat, so you should be able to access that on Facebook and YouTube. And then what I'll do is I'll circle back around on today's post and post a link in it as well. I didn't post it in it this morning. All right. Appreciate it. Hopefully you get some out of that conversation. Now, just a brief second. We got to take a minute and talk with our sponsor. Today's show was brought to you by my friends over at renewcommunitychurch.org. They started a brand new series, and the purpose is to give you tools and tips to help you live your best life. So check this out, and we'll talk on the other side.
The words for today are attract better relationships. It takes 60 seconds for the universe, through the invisible law of attraction, to be fully activated in your life. God's invisible law of attraction is available to you today because you are just 60 seconds away from attracting better relationships. Take the next 60 seconds and attract better relationships by telling a relationship story for 60 seconds, 3 times a day for 21 days. Why 21 days? Because that's how long it takes to change your life. Now say this relationship story out loud 3 times a day. It is my divine and human right to attract new, wonderful, and dynamic relationships today. I am attracting and allowing new and exciting people in my life. I am a blessing to all of my family and my friends. For a free ebook, visit renewcommunitychurch.org.
Lately, my thoughts got me distant. Darker days filling up darker minds. Stuck in this room that keeps spinning, wondering how you been, where you hide. Late night drinking, wishful thinking. What if you were here? Morning waking, heart still aching. Something about the way you make me feel. I don't wanna mess up your night. I don't wanna put up a fight. I don't wanna trouble you, babe, but I gotta say, I don't wanna waste no more time trying to shake the feelings inside. Finally got made up my mind. Can't go one more day without you. No. Lately there's something that's missing. Empty bed of mine. How I love the city of mine.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Broadcasting live from a secret location in the Cincinnati area. It's the Nathan Ivey Show, your morning destination for interesting conversation. And welcome back. Many thanks to my guest, Brother OJ Welborn. I thought that was a very interesting conversation again. And again, people trying to live their best life out here, whatever tools it takes. Never know. That could be something that could be in your future. You might want to get into the real estate game. I use it that way, not to in any way put that industry down. That's just the way I talk. But you might want to get into the real estate game, and perhaps you heard something this morning that might spark you. I don't know. Hopefully so. Good morning to you. Hey, listen, if you're just tapping in, do the world a favor. Not just me. Do the world a favor. And like, and in particular, share this show. Let the world know there's some people in Cincinnati that's got some damn sense. Nathan Ivey and the Choppers, good morning to you. This is by far, and I mean by far, it ain't even close. This is by far the most superlative talk audience in all of Greater Cincinnati, all of Ohio, if not the globe. We're gonna go ahead and say that we're gonna own it. This is the best talk radio audience, the most superlative talk radio audience in the whole world, Craig. In the whole world. So thanks for being here this morning, stopping by and checking out what's going on. I appreciate you. And again, if you're interested in getting that book, there's a link in the description and you can check it out for yourself. So you might be thinking, Nate, where you at? I'm in my office. This is just the other side. I told you I was going to flip it one day and show you. My bookshelf is right there. So I just kind of flipped it for you. Just now you can get a chance to see what I see every single morning. Nothing too family, just some pictures and some, there's a picture of my children right behind me. You can't see that my wife gave to me for Father's Day a few years ago. Got a sound blanket that I'm using as a curtain there to dampen out the sound. Like all this stuff is so readily available. I could put that monitor on, and then on some talk shows, they got a monitor behind them, and then like Roland Martin's good with that. He's got a monitor behind him. He's got his brand back there. I could do all of that as well. I just don't have it on today. But good morning to you. Again, 513-873-7134. If you'd like to share your thoughts, I would love to hear them. What'd you think about Brother Welborn and his segment? Joy writes informative segment. Janice writes a very good interview. Thank you so much. Drops in the house. He writes good luck, Mr. Welborn. Great to hear it. Sandra writes the world great show. Absolutely. I'm digging a new setup. I just flipped the camera. This is what I look at every single morning, or at least one side of the studio. I just thought it might be interesting to flip it a little bit for you, to make it a little bit more visually appealing. Things get old very quickly these days, don't they? They get old real quick. You know what I'm saying? That's how we are, man. We live in a world of short attention spans, short tempers, and short skirts. Short, 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 and short. Oh, word? What is this? What? Oh, yeah, I remember this, TNT. I appreciate that. Damn, I was so much bigger then. Look at me. But I was still sexy, though, in my own head. Not to anybody else, but just in my head. Hopefully the wifey still felt that way. That's about it. But good morning to you. What are we talking about? What's happening? Oh, that's my job. That's my job, huh? I'm supposed to come up with that. Anthony and Angela and Jenny and Daryl and all these folks in here. I saw what you posted back on August 14th, man. Like Nate said, like Nate always says, we are truly living in the last days of common sense. Yeah, man. Looks like the brother's working out. So, it looks like he's healthy. This ain't really my style. But I don't really fault nobody, man. I don't fault people for their fashions. Y'all want to see what I'm looking at and what I'm talking about? Okay. I'm not saying this is a big conversation this morning, but, somebody Daryl posted this in the friends page. Look at this right here. See this brother living his best life. I ain't mad at him. I don't get mad at other people for living their best life. If you feel like, this is how you want to rock, okay, at least he's matching, he's coordinating. I give him that much. Some people believe that there's a war going on out there against black masculinity. And so images like this, they say, is just another example of it, that we lose in the war. Brother's matching. I mean, he got his match game together. Again, live your best life, man. If you want to rock a skirt, if you want to dress like a woman, but like some sort of like a man, you go right ahead. You go right ahead and do you. It don't bother me one bit. I don't really have an opinion about it other than if that makes you happy, that makes me happy for you. Very happy for you. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like there's something inside of you and you want to express yourself by dressing like this, I don't have a problem with it. Shit don't bother me. That don't stop my masculine. My masculine is untouchable by that kind of shit. It don't bother me one bit. I have no opinion of it. I do have an opinion. My opinion is good for him. I'm happy for him. I'll tell you this much, brother coordinating though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what his sexuality is, but he's coordinating them better than some of these heterosexual brothers out here. You know what I'm saying? He got his a little Nas X thing going on. You go right ahead, brother. I'm happy for you. Happy for you, Daryl. What, I'm supposed to say something different? I mean, that's how I feel about it. I don't have an opinion. Do you? Do you 100%? Again, 513-873-7134. It's the world we live in. You either going to deal with it or you're going to let little shit bother you. I don't let little shit bother me. Somebody writes that, I'm got to go in and down. Hold on. No, she is pissed. This Negro, these damn phone calls, 8 o'clock in the morning. I know she is mad at me right now. Hold on, let me change that real quick. This Negro, she be so good about it too. Oh my God. Hold on, let me change that real quick because I do want to take your phone calls this morning, and I was forwarding the phone call somewhere else. So let me change that with the quicks real quick. There it is. There it is. Okay, so Drop or whomever else, if you were trying to call in, just give me a call, and it should come straight to the studio now. My apologies. I don't want to wake nobody up. Get your sleep in. This is what I do. I ain't trying to wake nobody up at all. But you know what? This might be totally irreverent observation I want to make about Cincinnati from a black perspective, but I see the city is changing. In about 10, 15 years, it's going to be a whole new swag in Cincinnati. It's going to be a whole new swag, and black folks is going to be at the tip of the spear. I just see a lot of good things happening. Like, it takes time, but I see good things happening in the city of Cincinnati. I see a whole lot of black and brown folks putting in good work on multiple levels. And I think it's all going to add to a renaissance. Cincinnati has a lot of potential. Got a lot of potential in the city. And for a long time, people wasn't stepping up to that potential. But again, more and more I'm seeing things that just make me happy. Pardon me. I'm seeing things that just make me happy. And I see that in the future, 10, 15 years from now, Cincinnati's going to have a whole new swag going on. Am I the only one that sees that? I cannot be. I'll give you more details in a second, but we got an early phone call. So let's take it. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivey. This is your West Side Connection, Drop Squad 52, also known as the Black Not Democrat. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing excellent, sir. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good, man. Donnie B gonna be mad at you because I called in before Mr. Welborn got on, but it was her voicemail. So
she's like, I'm tired of this Negro. I didn't told him.
Shout out to Donnie B.
Oh, absolutely.
Chop Shop Esquire. But Mr. Ivey, I want to give a shout out to the future senator from Ohio, the real Ronald Lackey, because over the weekend, me and him chopped it up, and we did a podcast. He joined me on the Black Not Democrat podcast.
Okay, dope.
Season 1. Yeah, season 1, episode 67, the California recall, Elder versus Gavin Newsom, joined by the real Ronald Lackey, future senator. So we chopped it up. It was fun. And Mr. Ivey, I got to give a lot of thanks to you because earlier in the show, when you were talking about your new studio setup, you told people to reach out to you for now. But I do got to say, since I've been listening to your show for over 3 years now, it's so many people that have been inspired by what you do to go out and at least attempt to get their voice out or just to talk on their own platform. Like for me, because, this is a hobby for me. I'm not monetized. I'm not trying to get all these followers and clicks and all that kind of stuff. I'm just having fun. And yes, it was quite an experience with Mr. Lackey, and I hope you get a chance to listen to it.
Oh, I'm certainly going to listen to it.
Critique me, because I'm trying to be an interviewer, and I think people in the chop shop, based on Mr. Lackey's calls about me and Larry Elder, they're probably going to think that the show is going to go a certain way, but it's not that, because I learned from you, if you're going to have a guest on your show, you got to treat them appropriately. You can't, because what would be the point for you to have somebody on there and you just going to destroy them like Glenn from Mason, like he does? If you're going to have somebody on your show, you got to have a legitimate conversation about the topics or whatever. So, but anyway, I hope people get a chance to listen to it. And you know how it is. But Mr. Ivey, I understand you had a guest today, but I haven't heard you mention anything about Afghanistan. Is that intentional?
I plan on talking about Afghanistan.
Oh, okay. All right, because I don't want to mess up your flow.
No, this would be a great segue to talk about it. What's your opinion about what's happening? The Taliban is taking over.
Well, yeah, my opinion, again, because Joe Biden was the vice president for Barack Obama for 8 years. And almost all the things that, other than COVID, but the immigration at the border, the economy, the foreign policy, all these things happened under Obama. Because if you remember in 2014, when President Obama pulled out the troops from Iraq, and he thought that Al-Qaeda was done, and his advisors tried to tell him that when you pull Americans out of Iraq, these little Al-Qaeda wannabes are going to fill the void. And if you remember, Barack Obama said that just because you put LA Laker jerseys on the JV team, they're not going to be Kobe Bryant. And that was the big thing back then. And it just seems like there's a whole lot of similarities right now with Afghanistan and what happened yesterday. All over national news. I got to give a shout out to the mainstream media. They did their job yesterday, Mr. Ivey. It was almost like they had no choice. And everybody's waiting to hear from the president today, hopefully today, because he's on vacation at Camp David. And it just seems I mean, the similarities are uncanny between what's going on in Afghanistan and what happened with Iraq once American troops pulled out. So hopefully, Biden will do the right thing because he's already sent, I think, a total of 500 troops are going to Afghanistan because the airport is out of control, Mr. Ivey. If you have that clip, you got to play that clip. You had Afghan people hanging on military aircraft, Mr. Ivey, while it was going down the runway. The images coming out of there, coming from Afghanistan yesterday and this morning is unbelievable. So I'll be waiting for the president to speak. You got to give him a chance to respond to this. But it just seems like it's the Obama-Biden remix all over again.
Huh?
And that's my take.
Wait.
I know you don't like hearing it.
It's not that I don't like hearing it. It's not historically accurate. So if we're going to have a conversation about Afghanistan, let's have a conversation about Afghanistan. See, the conversation should be, why in the hell were we ever in Afghanistan from the first place? Afghanistan had nothing to do other than it being a geographic location where they claimed Osama bin Laden was. It had nothing to do with 911. 15 of the 19 hijackers was from Saudi Arabia. But your party, Baby Bush and them, Rumsfeld, Cheney and them, decided, here's an opportunity for us to go in and try to do what the Russians failed at doing. And that's try to take on the Taliban on their home turf. And once again, another spectacular failure. Okay, superpowers, 0, Taliban 2. The Russians couldn't do it, and we couldn't do it. Period. That's what the story is.
Okay, but you're leaving out something very important, because you know one of my monikers, one of my sayings is, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And yes, everything you said is true. It started under George Bush's watch. But President Obama, President Trump, they both tried to finish it. But Trump never got the chance to finish it, but Obama tried to finish the Iraq war. He kept Afghanistan going. But see, now Joe Biden, because of his experience in 2014 when he was the vice president, he shouldn't have made the same mistake. That's all I'm saying, Mr. Ivey. That's all I'm saying.
You're saying same mistake, but what I'm saying is, I think that sometimes in life, there are mistakes you can make that can only end a certain way. You know, this whole thing with Afghanistan was only going to end one way. What we see right now, a retreat from yet another superpower, and then chaos, filling the vacuum. And the United States has been the United States has a 50-year track record of doing exactly what it did in Afghanistan around the world, and then backing away like, oops, it's too expensive. It's not our fault. We got a 50-year track record of that. So this was only going to end with what we see right now, no matter who the president was at the end of it. And I blame Baby Bush and Cheney and Rumsfeld and Condoleezza Rice, all those, the neoconservatives. They're the ones.
Yeah, and Colin Powell. Don't forget Colin.
And Colin Powell, even though he was reluctant, let's be honest, for history's sake, he was reluctant and all of that. But he went along with it. He played the good little black soldier. So,
but see, Mr. Ivey, you're not going to get an argument from me on everything you just stated. Everything you stated is true, but we all know it's the guy in the Oval right now, the man in charge. And again, I'm going to hang up because hopefully other people have an opinion about this. All I'm saying is, Mr. Ivey, the images coming from the Bagram airfield yesterday and this morning of these desperate Afghani people, most of them who were affiliated with the Americans while they were there those 20 years. I mean, it was sad. It was heartbreaking, Mr. Ivey, to see these people trying to fill out paperwork to get visas instead of doing like America did at the end of Saigon. F the paperwork, just get on the damn planes and let's get out of here. That's the only problem that people are having with the Biden administration. And it was clear over all the Sunday shows. This type of lack of preparation is, they're questioning intelligence. They're questioning these generals. Because you remember Trump said he's smarter than all these generals. So some of the things that happen, it makes you wonder, what the hell were they thinking? How did they not prepare for this without having these images being spread across the world of the failure of another, like you said, another American president? And that's all I got, Mr. Ivey. And again, before I go, shout out to the real Ronald Lackey. And in the future, any other choppers who want to join me on my podcast, just hit me up on Twitter, instant message, and we can make the damn thing happen. And again, there would be no Black Not Democrat podcast without the influence of the Nathan Ivey Show. Drop Squad 52, dumping science to anyone who wants to fact check it.
I appreciate it, brother. At least a brother can give a brother credit. There's some mofos out here swearing they brand new, knowing they was influenced by us, but it is what it is. But I want to say, I read, this book is, I can't remember when it was published. This was like, when I got this book right here written by Stephen Kinzer, it's called Overthrow, America's Century of Regime Change from Hawaii to Iraq. This is a must have. Man, I don't know how many times I used to have Stephen Kinzer on speed dial. He blessed us many, 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 many times over the years, coming on the show, talking about his books and his observations. And like I said, America this is just the last 50 years of regime change. This is what they do. This image that we see right now from Afghanistan, we've seen this over and over and over again because the U.S. likes to meddle in other countries' affairs. And then when it gets too hot, they want to run and leave people on their own. We've been doing this over and over and over and over again. I'm not alone in this. That's part of one of the things that made Trump so attracted to a lot of people, is because he spoke a lot about this when he was running in a Republican primary, and he was right about that. Am I for isolationism? Well, as much as I'm not necessarily for isolationism. I'm against trying to meddle and change and install puppets in other people's countries that's going to do the bidding for us. When are we going to learn? We ain't gonna learn. And then we want to run away like, oops, well, we want to break it, but then we don't want to fix it. Well, then stay the hell out of it. We never should have been in Afghanistan anyway. Afghanistan had nothing to do with 911, other than they told us that that's where Osama bin Laden was, but there's a lot of information out there saying that he was a CIA asset, and they just pressed his button when they needed a patsy. Don't get me started, man. I used to be deep in all of this shit. I spent a lot of time reading about, analyzing, and speaking with some of the people that was real close to all of this when it relates to 911 and everything that happened afterward. We never should have been in Afghanistan in the first place. Stay out of their business. Now we running away with our tails between our legs, the same way the Russians did. Like I said, superpowers don't do well in Afghanistan. We got all this fancy this and all this technology and military science, and we got our ass whooped, period. Just like the Russians did. Leave them people the fuck alone. Simple as that. You're spending billions of dollars for a losing effort. Meanwhile, here at home, we got too many starving people. We got too many homeless people, but you want to spend billions of dollars in somebody else's country, and it's none of our damn business anyway. So hell yeah, I plan to talk about it. It's one of my totally irreverent observations I want to share with you, because ain't nobody else gonna tell you that. They're gonna run around talking about how Joe Biden he mangled it, he fumbled the bag like Dennis Schroeder. You talk about fumbling the bag. Anyway, somebody said they want to give you $84 million to play for the Lakers for 4 years. Negro, you take that. You take that quick. I wish a mofo would put $84 million for me to play for the Lakers. I'll be out there tomorrow. This fool talking about some no. Anyway, anybody hip to that thing with the NBA, you know I'm right about that. So America fumbled the bag, wasted billions of dollars, and now we running away with our tails between our legs, just like we did in so many other countries over the last 50 years. And for what? What did we get out of it? The military-industrial complex, they got paid. Like, if you make money off of building bombs and smart bombs and all that kind of shit, you loved Afghanistan. You like chest bumping. Like you won an NBA championship. Better than that. People got rich off Afghanistan. Raise your hand if you got rich off Afghanistan, because I know I ain't getting no money off Afghanistan whatsoever at all. If you ain't make no money off of it, you in the same place. We just fools over here. Meanwhile, we struggling with bridges that are crumbling and decaying. Meanwhile, we got all these issues that, I don't know, billions of dollars could probably help. This country kills me, man. Don't get me started. This country kills me. Now, when it comes to dropping bombs in somebody else's country, everybody, let's do it. Good answer. But then you want to super double check a single mother that's on welfare. We have no problem writing a blank check to the military-industrial complex at all for billions, tens, hundreds, close to trillions of dollars, if that's what it takes. But let a single mother appear to be living good off the government dole. All of a sudden, the world's got to come to the end. How dare you? Oh, we got to do this. We got to do a credit check on you. We want to do an asset check on you and all this other kind of shit for people that are struggling. But if you work in the military-industrial complex, oh, you're going to make a new smart bomb or a new missile or some new technology to destroy the human experience, blank check from America. I'm calling bullshit. All bullshit. We wasted a lot of time in Afghanistan and got nothing out of it. And Afghanistan had nothing to do. I'll say it again. It had nothing to do. I'll say it again. It had zero to do with 9/11 at all. Zero. Why were we even there? That should be the national conversation. We should dig up Donald Rumsfeld's corpse and drag his ass with horses through the streets. F Donald Rumsfeld. It's just amazing to me the fake outrage that people have. We get all outraged about a single mother that wants to buy beer with food. Oh, she's selling her EBT card. Oh, that's not what I spend my tax dollars for. And have zero to say with the blank check that these warmongers get. I don't even know. I love to find out how much money was spent on Afghanistan. I bet it was obscene. I bet it was absolutely obscene. You talking about pornographic. I bet it was straight up pornography, right? That straight up smut is the amount of money they spent. For what reason? Messing with these folks. I don't know any of them people. Leave these people the fuck alone. America will never learn her fucking lesson. You want to work on something? Work on us first. Leave them people, and I mean it that way, leave them folks alone. But we'll do it again, because that's what we do. That's what we do in America. We should be outraged in this country. Absolutely outraged at the obscene amount of money. James Lawson writes $337 billion. I don't know if that's the number, but I know it's into the hundreds of billions. If ever there was a reason for the people to grab some torches and storm Washington, now that's a reason to start an insurrection. That's a reason to get pissed off. And then meanwhile at home, we gotta beg senators and beg congressmen and women to allocate funds for infrastructure, to allocate funds for things that are so important in our homes, in our neighborhoods. And y'all can spend this kind of money over the last 20 years? Ridiculous. Absolutely reprehensible and ridiculous, man. Absolutely. What a travesty, man. And we all knew it was going to end this way. There was not going to be no happy ending. Americans, man, kill me like thinking you going to invade another country and be looked upon as heroes. You ain't no damn hero. You're a conqueror. Colonizers. We got that colonizer tendency in America. I'll say it again. Leave them people, and that's all of them people, the you know what alone, and focus on America. We got too many problems in this country that could be addressed, that could be seriously addressed with $300 billion. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, and no damn common sense whatsoever at all. Travesty. That's what we do. Yeah, we could have all got free health care with the money they spent running around trying to mess with the Afghanistans. Like, oh, we gonna do what the Russians couldn't do. The Russians got their ass whooped, and Americans got their ass whooped. Stay out of Afghanistan. Simple as that. Leave them alone. Let them sort it out. And so we know it's going to be bloody. It's going to be a lot of people going to get killed. We love to destabilize countries and run away. Like I said, this book, I don't know, maybe 10, a little bit more than that. It's called Overthrow with Stephen Kinzer. Is worth your time. It is worth your time if you're into that. It's I mean, you could tell it's thick, but it's an easy read. And it's not all academic and with obscure words you can't understand. It's an easy read, and you'll know what I know. You'll get a better historical. See, this is the kind of shit right here they need to be teaching in high schools, so that American students can learn the truth about what your country, what your government's been really doing, and how it really impacts us, and how people really look at Americans and why they look at us that way. This is why you should read this. All right, let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nate. What's going on, bro?
I'm doing great, Glenn. Welcome to the show.
Hey, just a couple of numbers here. I'm actually trying to work and watching Stephanie roll at the same time. But they said we spent a total of $2.26 trillion over the 20 years in Afghanistan and $143 billion for reconstruction of Afghanistan. So, I think what James said, they only spent so many billions. No, they spent a couple of trillion. And like I said, that $143 billion, I'm pretty sure some of that could have rebuilt the Brent Spence Bridge. You know what I'm saying? Nate, what's happening over there is complete cluster, you know what, and it looks that way. But I will say this. I think a lot of people got the attitude that you have now. And I think that goes really across Democratic lines, but I think there's even a percentage of Republicans out there that are saying to themselves, A, we should have never been there, and this is going to revoke the whole, Colin Powell, Rumsfeld, like you said, George Bush. Why are we in certain places over in the Middle East anyway? But this attitude is we needed to get out of there. And the more we see these numbers and the more we see how we're fighting in Washington over pennies when we've spent trillions over there, I think that attitude is going to permeate. Now, you know me, Nate. I'm going to keep it real. This is going to look bad for Biden I think it's going to be in the short term, maybe in the midterm, but not in the long term, because I think the attitude out there is like 20 years is enough. Now, originally, they were supposed to leave by the anniversary of 9/11. And, it's funny, I hear Drop called, and he actually tried to blame this on Barack Obama. Drop, that was 4.5 years ago. I mean, and I think Nicole put it in, or maybe it was TG that put it in there. He seems to forget that this withdrawal date was actually set in place by who, Drop? Your boy Trump. Remember, he initially started pulling out troops because, Nate, like you said, he did kind of, touch that nerve, that isolationist part of America, which I think, again, cuts across party lines, maybe to not the same effect, because some of them like, hey, I want to just isolate because I don't want to give brown people money. There are a lot of us that are out there like, I don't want to be over there because leave those folks alone. And there's a great meme that's out there, Nate. They said if you're in a place 20 years and they can just overtake the so-called government in 3 days, you didn't have what do they call you weren't rebuilding a country. You were the head of a colony. Basically, we were colonizers. And all those people that all they did for 20 years just sit back, probably gave a couple of yes bosses. It's going to be all right. But they were able to sustain that with only 3,500 troops, Nate. So of course they were going to overtake it as soon as those 3,500 left. But again, the emphasis should be leave those people alone. The British couldn't do it, the Russians couldn't do it, and the Americans couldn't do it. Believe me, the Chinese not trying to do that. They've seen what the Chinese like, oh no. Let those Europeans make those mistakes. Now, the only thing that Drop might have said that had a modicum of truth to it was that the Chinese and Iran and Russia, they're going to try to, form some type of accord. But honestly, what type of accord are you going to, get in cahoots with them when they really don't have much shit? And we're just an AC-130 from just blowing the whole damn Kabul up if we wanted to, quietly. So, right now we got to worry about sleeper cells and people trying to get in this country, foreign influence by the Chinese and the Russians and the whole shebang. But we way past the day where you can a bunch of people from the Middle East can go to a pilot training school and only learn how to fly, not how to take off and not how to land. Those days are over. So, Nate, I just want to get that out there. Like I said, 2.26 trillion over 20 and 143 billion to rebuild Afghanistan. You have a good one, man. Patty Pace.
Appreciate the call. Again, another brother comes with facts. We'll go with his number. He said over $2 trillion. That's a reason for every last one of us taxpayers in this country to get pitchforks and torches and storm the Capitol. Now, that's a reason to storm the Capitol. Because the politicians have been complicit by passing budgets that continue to authorize the military actions over the last 20 years. They've been complicit in it. They could have stopped it, but they didn't. Obscene. Absolutely smut tapes. That's what I saw. Smut tapes. Obscene. What's the most obscene thing I've ever seen in my life? And the same thing with Iraq. How'd that end? Tail between our legs, destable country, troops leaving, never going back. Why do we do this? We do this because people make a lot of money. That's why we do this. Somebody getting a Tony Stark on, selling military technology or technology to the military, to the government. That's why. It's called the military industrial complex, has been fueling these wars since the beginning of wars. Right, the advance of military technology, so they can get rich by Benzes and Benzo, Maybach, you name it, Phantoms. Meanwhile, the people ain't touching none of it. We could have redid the Brent Spence Bridge 100 times over with $2 trillion. You're building bridges in Afghanistan, and you're overlooking bridges in the United States. And that's part of that talk that Trump was talking that made him attractive, that made people think he was different. They had no idea he was a raging lunatic and a narcissist with a Big Mac body and a Big Mac mentality. When I say Big Mac, I don't mean that in like some kind of giving him a credit. I mean like a Big Mac, like with a quarter pounder and cheese and a Big Mac mentality. Who in the hell? It's crazy, man. It's crazy the world we live in. We get upset about the wrong damn things. We really do. Joe Biden legally wins the election. We want to storm the Capitol. Our government spends over $2.2 trillion in Afghanistan. Nobody says a word. Nobody says a damn thing. They got us so controlled. We're just like minions, like little puppets. They got paid. They got paid. They got paid. Paid. Iraq was a mess, man. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Brother Nate. How you doing? This is Senator Lackey giving you a call.
Hey, what's up, Senator Lackey? I heard you was on a Drop Show.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he reached out to me on Saturday, and we coordinated and knocked that out yesterday, and he got it uploaded. It was a pretty productive conversation, eye-opening conversation for both sides, and I'll do it again. It was. Check it out. Just check it out for sure.
Okay, yeah, I will check it out. What's on your mind?
Yeah. So I'm glad he called. I appreciate the shout out. I do want to kind of correct the history though. When I judge presidents, I ask myself two questions. What was the Oval Office like when you got there? So what did you inherit? and then how did you leave it for the next president? And when Obama walked into the Oval Office, we were already in conflicts with Afghanistan and Iraq. So to try to blame that on Obama is just unfair. He wasn't there when it happened. This was George W. Bush and his war hawks that couldn't convince Bill Clinton to go to war. And then by the time Bush gets there, 9/11 happens, and now all of a sudden we're in the Middle East fighting in two different areas. I look at the way we entered Vietnam, and I look at the way we entered Colombia, and I look at the way we entered Afghanistan. All three of those countries, by the time we entered, were top 10 producers of poppy fields. That's where opium comes from. That's where heroin comes from. I don't think it's a coincidence that the countries we went into all of a sudden also had a whole lot of heroin to bring back. I think those two things are related. So I don't think that we were just there just for oil. We weren't there just for the military industrial complex, but those things are at play. But why not go to, if there's a reason that the countries we go to are the way that they are. They have poppy fields, and they have people who are non-Christian and people who are non-white. And America has a history of trying to attack those type of countries, take advantage of their resources, and then getting out. And that's the issue. So if he wants to talk about Afghanistan, we do need to address why we were there in the first place, and then how in the hell do you get out? And every single president that's been there said, we're going to pull out, we're going to pull out. Biden was the first one to actually do it. I'm not in agreement 100% with announcing, hey, we're going to have this many troops withdrawn by this date. I think that's a little stupid to kind of play your hand. I mean, show your hand before you play it, but that's the situation. How they handle it is up to them. It's going to be on Biden to help try to fix it and reduce it, but it's not his fault we're there, and it's not Obama's fault that we're there, and we need to keep that in mind. So I just wanted to correct the record on that.
All right, brother. Appreciate the call.
Yes, sir. You have a good week. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, I read over the years that the poppy production went up when the United States took over. Is that a coincidence? Hell to the nah. Excellent point by Senator Ron Lackey. Excellent point. This was drugs. I'd like to know, to what degree was the motivation drugs to control the poppy fields in Afghanistan? They're telling us it's all about bringing democracy, as if somebody would want that shit. We can't force our form of government on other people. Is it really about controlling the poppy fields? Reuters reports this morning, profits in poppy, Afghanistan's illegal drug trail, a boon for the Taliban. Al Jazeera 3 hours ago, opium, Afghanistan's drug trade that helped fuel the Taliban. Was some of that opium money, some of that poppy money coming back to the United States? I'm sure it was. Somebody was getting paid. Wasn't me. Wasn't you. Wasn't us. War is big business. Big business. Good morning to you. He is 100% right. The new narco state is blossoming in Afghanistan under the Taliban. You notice how the drugs never stop. The opium never stopped in these last 20 years. If anything, the production went up. How is that possible when the United States has the military there? Or is that the whole point? I don't know. You tell me. I'd love to get your thoughts about it. 513-873-7134. Maurice writes, excellent point. The American government is the biggest drug dealers. Sarah writes, it's all about drugs. Terrence writes, poppy is a cash crop in Afghanistan. That fueled the Taliban. We used to burn their fields to stop them from growing. I'm sure it all didn't get burned. We can burn this, or we can make some money. What y'all want to do? Nakia writes, Trump made me think I should change my profession and run for president, LOL. I wish somebody had. Maurice writes, $2 trillion could have taken care of a lot of homeless people, could have taken a lot of homeless people off the streets, could have opened a lot of businesses for us and better education for our youth, right? Oh my God. But we're going to do what we always do. We politicize things in the moment, and somehow I'm sure they're going to put this all on Joe Biden because He wasn't supposed to tell people beforehand or something like this. But all I know, it was a complete failure. I never had confidence in Baby Bush. I never had confidence in a damn thing they ever said about it. No, it didn't make any sense. It never made any sense whatsoever. Not even a little bit. Sorry. I could lie to you and tell you it did, but you can get lies other places. Not why you come here. You don't want to hear me lie to you. Again, good morning to you. So, kids, CPS returns what, on Thursday? Y'all ready? Are you ready? That's right. We going back in all over the country, man. The return to school has been sparking controversy all over the country. People getting their ass whooped over mask mandates. People getting assaulted. In California, parents assaulted a teacher over a mask dispute. A California teacher was assaulted by a parent during an argument about his child wearing a mask on the first day of school. Apparently, it left the teacher bleeding. Apparently, the teacher was getting into a verbal altercation with the principal, and a teacher stepped in. And when the teacher stepped in, the parent was like, "Oh, you want some of this work? You can get some too," and then assaulted the teacher. Apparently, there were lacerations on the teacher's face, bruising, a pretty good knot. Ooh. The district policy reflects. What'd you say, black woman? Okay. Be safe. Be safe. Where them little people are? They upstairs? The district policy reflects the state's guidance, which also says that staff who are vaccinated should provide proof so they can remove their masks indoors when children aren't present. And apparently, from what I've been reading, there have been similar incidences and assaults and confrontations across the country. Like I said, this is real. This is so real. I'm glad the CPS is still requiring masks. It just makes sense. My attitude about COVID is let's exercise caution. If we're going to err, let's err on the side of caution. When you're dealing with people's children and their livelihoods, let's err on the side of cautious. Like nobody's ever going to be upset with you because you're overly cautious and when it relates to COVID. People will get upset with you when you're overly, cavalier about it, and then people get sick and or they die. That's when people get upset with you. Like people might bellyache, like we want to play sports and all this kind of stuff, but as long as their kids ain't sick, they'll be cool. It's real out here. People getting their ass whooped over this shit, man. And the other thing is when you see two grown people arguing, unless it's your family member, stay the hell out of it. A man was stabbed in Los Angeles at an anti-vaccination protest. Here in the city of Cincinnati, I believe it was Friday, there was an anti-mandate protest over at UC. It was on, what's the street here in Coreyville, Clifton area? It was on Burnett. It was on Burnett. How many people was driving down Burnett? I had to pick my son up over at Fairview, and the way I go is I drive down Burnett. I'm driving down Burnett. I'll tell you what was so funny. This is all true. I'm driving down Burnett. I see people on both sides holding up masks. 1776 and anti-mask, and you can't make us do this, and this is wrong, and we have rights, right? Okay, cool. I drive past it. I look at it. People saying, honk if you agree. I did not honk because I didn't agree with it. I didn't really know enough to honk or not. I go pick up my son. I drive back the same way. As we're driving back, my son is 6. As we're driving back, he's like, Daddy, what are these people doing? And I explained to him, you know what this boy said? He was like, but why would you ever have a problem with wearing a mask or the vaccine? It keeps you safe. This is what he said. He's 6. He's got more sense than some of these grown-ass adults. He's fucking 6. And you got grown people out here that don't have as much sense as a 6-year-old. He couldn't understand. He was like, well, why would you ever have a problem with wearing a mask? And why would you ever have a problem with getting a vaccine, Dad? It'll keep you safe. It'll keep you from getting sick. This is what he says at 6. We're living in the last days of common sense, my friends. I'll leave you like that. All right. Have an excellent rest of your day. I'll be back and hopefully better than ever tomorrow morning. We'll chop it up on everything, people, politics, and pleasure. Okay. We'll talk about everything tomorrow morning. Make sure you check out the show. Look, if you're checking out for the first time and you're seeing this show for the first time, you're like, I like this guy, man. I think I can get down with the choppers. Then hit me with a subscription. If you are a YouTube-friendly person, I'm trying to get at least 1,000 subscribers. Okay, that is my first, not trying, I'm going to. And I want you to help me in the endeavor to get 1,000 subscribers. That'll unlock some tools that I can use as a content creator on my YouTube page. So I'm a little bit shy of 700. If you're a YouTube-friendly person, check me out. Before we roll, though, one last word from our sponsor. Check this out.
The words for today are attract more money. It takes 60 seconds for the universe through the invisible law of attraction to be fully activated in your life. God's invisible law of attraction is available to you because you are just 60 seconds away from attracting more money. Take the next 60 seconds and attract more money in your life by telling a financial story for 60 seconds, 3 times a day for 21 days. Why 21 days? Because that's how long it takes to change your life. Now say this financial story out loud 3 times a day. Today, I accept my divine and human right to have more than enough money, to be a financial blessing to self, family, and others. I will use my financial abundance today to bless so many people in this universe. Money is my friend. I share my money with my friends. For a free ebook, visit renewcommunitychurch.org.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. I'll be back and better than ever tomorrow morning. Until then, have an excellent rest of your day. You know our motto. Let's say it together. Winners focus on winning. Losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning. And we'll talk real soon. I'm Nathan Ivey, and I'm out.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand.
Back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did the by my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get on my God, on my told him it's nothing. In the discussion, got them feelings I throw on my pain on percussion. It's disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you almost spotted the feast. I've been on go mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride. Cool shorty, too naughty, pool party, wet for the face ride. Annie up, penny down, hand me down, thrift store, old drip. New money, too funny, old shorty, talk about old. I'm on they now, can't get a pass now, I'm a cash cow, keeping it